Hello everybody, and welcome to your nurturing and gentleness and competition slash threat recap videos. I had to get her out of here because she just keeps eating the plants, everybody. She's just like being just absolutely destructive. So I'm going to combine these two recaps because it's just going to be easiest for me. I'm going to be totally raw and authentic with you guys and say that I got hit with the growth period on Wednesday evening that I was not expecting. This growth period has really rocked me to my core in a way that no growth period ever has. So I'm going to be trying my best to be holding the same frequency and holding the same vibration as I was on Tuesday when I was feeling really good and feeling just so beautifully aligned and loving every second of the Patreon and loving just like being able to do these healings, and I still do. But I can't even tell you what has happened. And I wish I'm not going to say it because there's a chance that the outcome might change. But I'm just letting you know right now that I am doing my best to be the leader that you all need me to be. I wish this didn't happen right after my period where I took 5 days off because I could use it again. But I just want to say that this is kind of the reason why that I have not been as prompt with the stuff that I needed to do. I am so thrown for a loop with my mother wounds. I cannot even speak about it as of right now. I thought this month was going to be a gentle month. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong. It has been the hardest growth period I've ever gone through in the Patreon this far. So I'm just letting you know I'm doing my best here. If you care about me, the cool thing you can do is just like see me in a bubble with a bunch of infinite space, holding space. And you're like wanting to do something because I'm going to be teaching you the opposite of what a lot of uterus body people are taught to do, or just people in general are taught to do with nurturing. Did I hold back with these healings? Absolutely fucking not. I really went for the gold here because I channeled Mary fucking Magdalene. And I just so much is on the plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin with the first overall recap. So when it came to nurturing and gentleness, I began to look at this energy a lot differently because we are kind of taught, especially uterus body people, we are taught to bring people into our space when it comes to nurturing. We are taught to really pull people in energetically, especially if you're somebody who has a womb. I'm gonna say women here. If you are not a woman, please just know that I'm speaking to all womb-bodied people. I'm saying women in particular here because this is usually a thing that I see that is very common in actual female groups, especially if those females have wombs. So we are really taught to bond over our pain. We are taught to bond over how much men suck, how much we are hurting, how much pain we are in. It's kind of this major thing that is just kind of upheld. And so what we do is that I saw this energy when I looked at the energy psychically. I saw there was this like deep purple energy that would just pull people into the womb space. And it was like, yes, let me help you. And this would happen. We would pull male bodies into the womb space as well. I just saw this being a major thing with female bodies. When it comes to nurturing and gentleness, the reason, our mom, even if she was a quote unquote good mom, what she could have been doing during that time was really pulling you in. If you felt like you were like the the daughter that had to like take care of mom and like kind of be mom's therapist, or even as, you know, a lot of sons do that too, you know. This could be the result of her pulling all these people into her space, and being unable to give to you. And therefore what can happen for a lot of womb-bodied people is that they begin to pull mom into their space as well, so that this way mom can be there for them. And there's this weird agreement where we're just nurturing and pulling each other into our spaces, and it's just no bueno. So one of the major things I was going through and clearing with this was this energy, and for male bodies as well, it's just a little less common to pull people in when it comes to nurturing. And a lot of the reasons why you feel that perhaps you can't really nurture yourself, especially if you have a womb body, is because you are nurturing everybody else in that second chakra. In that, so for men and for male bodies, penis bodies, for penis bodied people, it's going to be in your second chakra. It's going to be less intense with this because your body is built to hold space. It's just, that's its superpower, okay? You can nurture, it's just its superpower is holding space. Female bodies are uterus bodies are really, really good at nurturing and pulling and like taking care of. So they're just naturally good at that. So anyway, you don't have to be these things. These are just superpowers. If you want to go into them, you can. But a lot of the times that you find that you cannot nurture yourself is because you are nurturing every single other person around you. And by nurturing, I mean pulling in. Are you taking care of everybody? You know, what's happening here, right? And so, you know, if your mom didn't have time for you, I can almost guarantee, you know, she was nurturing everybody else around her. And by nurturing, the picture that I'm going to give, the spiritual image of nurturing and reprogramming that spiritual image, is this pulling in, okay? And so I began to look at the energy differently, and I saw this I mean, absolute oh my god, it's this guy. Stop. Okay, sorry, it's just literally this color. This but almost like a neon. And I saw for womb-bodied people that the truth of nurturing is that there's this infinite reservoir of loving and caring that is actually in our womb space that we can really, really tap into and go into, and we can just be the most loving and caring people in the world and have all of this energy to take care of ourselves, take care of others. And when you're taking care of other people, again, it's almost like you're not pulling their energy into your space. That's why I'm trying to say, you know, I'm going through something, but do not nurture me in that way. See me, hold space for me, or, you know, be caring. But, you know, I can guarantee you almost after this, there's going to be more energy for yourself to take care of yourself. But when you'll actually have more energy to take care of others because you're not pulling their pain in. You're almost tapping into this literal neon. It was so sick. This reservoir of just so much love, so much love and care and just kindness, and I just want to give to you and I just want to receive. And it was just this bubbling burst of just whatever it is. And for me, you know, I saw that be this neon pink. All right. And you can tap into this, and it can be your beautiful superpower. You can love to take care of other people, or you can just love to take care of yourself. You can love to, get your house all nice, or whatever it is. It's just there is a superpower of love and care that if you tap into this space, it's just the body's just so good of it. There's this infinite reservoir of it. If you find, too, that you're oh my God, well, Courtney, how can I do this? Isn't that people pleasing, meeting other people's needs? It's only people pleasing if it's not you actually doing it, if it's coming from a foreign energy. So usually it's coming from that purple energy. It's I have to take care of them. I have to. This is an obligation. All right. If you tap into your true self, when you really tap into this energy, it can be something that is just infinite, and You know, obviously we don't always have the emotional capacity to take care of people, what, you know what I mean? But it's like there's this energy that is just like infinitely flowing. And when you really tap into this infinite abundant nature that's in the womb, this infinite creatrix nature, like it's total creator energy too. It's all about like, so if you're like wanting to create a bunch of things, that's totally probably going to come in if you have a womb body. You know, that energy is also, there's just like this infinite potential. There's this infinite wanting to grow. It's just like this infinite expansion, this infinite ability to receive. It's just so like bubbly. It's like bursting. And that bubbling and bursting may be different flavors for each person. For me, it's like super girly and super fun. And like for other people, it might be like this infinite bursting of like wanting to do work, like, you know what I mean? But it's like, that is your nurturing, that is taking care of yourself in your own way, if you really like to do that work, if it really feeds you, if it really fuels you. But if you're like doing the work from obligation, right? If you're doing it from this, like, I have to, you know, it's a little different. But, you know, I'm just giving you an example that this could look different for other people, all right? When it comes to nurturing and feeding and caring for the body and all of this stuff, you're going to probably like want to spend more time like feeding yourself. You're going to want to spend more time doing these things. And this is for the penis bodies as well. You're going to want to like spend more time really getting to know your body, what it likes, what it dislikes, what emotions it's feeling, what emotions it's not, you know, just all of these different things. There's just like overall time. You're going to have the energy and the spaciousness to be able to have that. For penis bodies, at BPI, they call it male bodies, but like, even though they're just talking about like the penis, but I like to call it penis bodies because I think it just sounds a little bit more neutral, but I just kind of get it mixed up in my head because I've taught it different ways. So I'm sorry if this is triggering. I'm doing my absolute best. But yeah, so for the male bodies, I really see this energy being something that it's taking the time and care for yourself. It's really listening to your body, listening to your emotions, allowing it to cry and like holding it. It's just, you know, what you got from mom. So that, what you needed from mom, right? So after I saw this picture, okay, and I started to really integrate that into your space, I also started to fill different voids of where you didn't get what you needed, right? And where you're pulling it in from other people. And that's pretty self-explanatory. I've explained that in many different posts. I'm just going in and just seeing basically what color you needed and I'm filling it into the chakras. This has already been coming in for me lately as I went to Whole Foods yesterday and I have been having such a hard time eating. And I was just like, I'm going to cook myself some dinner. And that was a really big deal for me because like I've just been eating out all the time. So there are these little things that you might be expecting, like you might be like experiencing these little small steps that you might be feeling. Also in this healing, I decided to channel the sacred, even though Mary Magdalene wasn't a sacred mother, she was very famous for witnessing Jesus's pain. So she watched Jesus get crucified and was there. And there is a lot of our moms did not want to witness our pain or did not want to be around us in pain because they would do that nurturing thing of like pulling in, and therefore they would push away and try to avoid it as much as possible. Mary Magdalene, I saw her energy and it was just so beautiful. She held this space and she just witnessed Jesus in all of his pain while he was being crucified and people were throwing things at him and she couldn't do anything. She witnessed him and watched the entire time. And there's a sacredness in witnessing somebody's pain. There's a sacredness in allowing your pain to be witnessed. And so what she did, so I have been channeling, I've learned how to channel, I've been doing it for the last year, so I decided to channel her and allow her to give a healing to the mannequin. And what she did was she went through and basically cleared everywhere where your pain was invalidated, where somebody couldn't just witness you in your pain, where you were seen as a problem for being in pain and needing care and needing nurturing and needing that Okay. So, where were you not seen? Where did people not want to look at you? Where did people have a hard time? Right. And, where could you not even acknowledge that you were in pain? And where do you ignore it and stuff it down? Because that's what your parent just turned away. Your mom just did that to you because she could not handle it, right? So everyone always asks me, how do I do my job? I'm looking at trauma every single day. And it's recreating this picture of nurturing is that your trauma actually does not affect me. One, I've been through a fuckload of shit, so I'm just like, like, nuts. Two, I'm witnessing you. I don't need to pull you in. So a lot of people, they get very, like, trauma dumping is actually when somebody's trying to toss their trauma onto you and you actually pull it into your space and now you feel like shit. The trauma dumping doesn't have to exist. I mean, you can say the hardest things in the world and they could be hard for somebody to hear. You know what I mean? It can be very triggering for that person, but if that person doesn't take on the energy, you don't have to go through that, right? And so, that is what I do is I witness you guys. You tell me the deepest and darkest things that are happening to you sometimes, and I'm just witnessing you, and I'm learning, and I'm releasing energy that would allow me to bring that into my space. And so, by channeling this beautiful, sacred mother-esque energy of Mary Magdalene and that witnessing of the pain, there was a huge difference in the way that you experience somebody else in pain and the way that you experience yourself in pain. You're not going to run from your pain anymore. That is something that really came up. You will be acknowledging your pain this month. It will come up. I know you're like, oh no, your body, sometimes coming into the body, it doesn't always feel good. Sometimes coming into the body and being embodied means acknowledging the pain that's within. You have to feel your pain to its deepest degree in order to experience a life of pleasure to its deepest degree. And it's time we acknowledge that. It's time a fucking Aquarius moon, acknowledge that. With Sag placements, I gotta look at this shit, God, I had a mom with a Sag sun and a Sag moon. Pray for me! Speaking of Mary Magdalene, there's no time for any sad feeling, just happy. Let's go drink about it, okay? And so, witnessing and honoring pain in the body and being able to take care of yourself and move through that pain is going to really help you move into this different space and actually become embodied in that second chakra and clear everybody out. Your inability to feel your own pain is going to bring everybody else's pain into your space. So, childhood wounding will be coming up. Boy, did it for me on Wednesday. Woo! You will be acknowledging this pain that you fully just don't acknowledge. And other people you might be experiencing are going to be able to see you in your pain. And for the first time, it was wild. I was bawling. I was scream crying. You know what I mean? And on Wednesday evening, and my friend came over, and I just don't do this type of stuff. I don't show that. And I was just in it. I was like, I cannot. And I was in healing clinic on Friday, and I was just like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm not crying. I am. And I just can't, I could not, and it was actually beautiful that I was just allowing, I'm like, holy shit, I am in so much pain. And this might be happening for you guys, and then you're going to be nurtured in that pain. Okay. So you're going to be nurturing yourself, and it was wild. As I was going through that experience, for the first time, I didn't want to run away. For the first time, I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to just be with myself. I said, I'm not running this time. I'm going to be with it. There's nowhere to run to. This pain follows me. I'm going to be in it. Okay? And So that might be happening for you. It might be happening for you. And I know that doesn't sound really fun, but there is a sacredness to that human experience. There is a sacredness of honoring that and nurture. What the fuck? Okay, sorry. Just like all went black. There's a sacredness in nurturing that in yourself. Yeah, so as you hold space for me and you integrate this new way of nurturing, you're going to be able to nurture others and nurture yourself and have this never-ending vortex of love and receptivity and pleasure that comes in. You know, did I work? You know, like I was gonna say something. I'm gonna keep it private. Yeah, so that is what I saw with that. I think because this has been 20 minutes, I'm going to split this up actually. So I will make the next video pain and nurturing and love.